My name is Ava Miller, and I was 30 years old when I learned how quietly someone can make you feel small without ever raising their voice. When people hear that, they assume there was screaming, accusations, a dramatic fight. There wasn't. It started with a text. But before I get there, you need to understand how normal everything felt before it wasn't. I met Daniel 7 months earlier on a dating app I almost deleted out of boredom. His profile was understated. No luxury cars, no rooftop champagne photos, just a few candid shots, a dry sense of humor in his bio, and a job in finance that sounded impressive without being flashy. Our first date lasted 4 hours. Coffee turned into dinner. Dinner turned into walking through the city until midnight, talking about childhoods, career fears, and all the things you only admit when you don't think you'll see someone again. But we did see each other again, and again, and again. Within a month, we were inseparable. Daniel was ambitious, articulate, charming in a way that made people lean in when he spoke. He worked with high-end clients, attended industry events, knew the right restaurants, the right people. I'm a software developer. I make good money. I live comfortably, not extravagantly. I never felt insecure about that until I started dating him. At first, it was subtle. Emily used to love this place, he said once at a wine bar I'd picked. Emily was his ex-girlfriend. She always had an eye for aesthetics, he added, smiling absently. I didn't think much of it. Everyone mentions exes sometimes. It doesn't always mean anything. But Emily's name kept appearing. Emily took him to that gallery. Emily introduced him to that chef. Emily wore designer dresses to corporate events. Then the comments started drifting toward me. You should think about upgrading your wardrobe a bit, he said casually one night. Nothing drastic, just elevated. Or, your apartment is nice, cozy, simple. Simple. By month 5, the word basic slipped in. Not directly at first. This restaurant is kind of basic, don't you think? This crowd is very basic. This lifestyle feels basic compared to what I want long term. Each time, I adjusted, rationalized, told myself I was being sensitive. Until last Tuesday. We had plans for lunch. He canceled an hour before, said something urgent came up at work. No big deal. At 3:02 p.m., my phone buzzed. We need to talk about us. I called immediately. What's wrong? I don't think we should do this over the phone, he said. His voice was calm, controlled. Can we meet tonight? My stomach dropped. That evening, he didn't waste time. I've been doing a lot of thinking, he said, about alignment, about the future. Cold settled in my chest. I ran into Emily today, he continued. We grabbed coffee, just talked. I stayed quiet. And it made me realize something, he said. I've been settling. Settling? You're a great woman, Ava, he said gently. Kind, reliable, easy to be with. But Emily helped me see that you're basic. Oh. The word landed like a slap. I want someone who matches my lifestyle, my ambition, someone who pushes me. I didn't cry. I didn't yell. 20 minutes after we hung up, the text came. My ex says you're too basic for the life I want. And honestly, she's right. I stared at it for a long time. Then I replied, good to know. And that's where everything changed. I didn't block Daniel. I didn't delete our photos. I didn't post cryptic quotes or go silent on social media. I did what people never expect after a breakup like that. I went on with my life. Work, gym, groceries, late-night coding sessions. The same routines I had before him, only quieter now, stripped of the background noise of constantly trying to be enough for someone else. But quiet doesn't mean empty. It means space, and in that space, questions grow teeth. The one that kept circling back was simple. How long had I been competing with a ghost? 3 days after the breakup, I did something I hadn't planned on doing, and honestly, wasn't sure I should. I texted Rachel Harper, Daniel's younger sister. We'd met a handful of times at family dinners and birthdays. She was observant in a way that made people uncomfortable. Polite, but never blindly supportive of her brother's choices. I remembered once catching her watching Daniel and Emily across a room with an expression that looked a lot like doubt. I typed the message, deleted it, typed again. Hey, Rachel, it's Ava. Daniel and I broke up. I just wanted you to hear it from me in case he mentions it. The response came faster than I expected. Oh no, what happened? I stared at the screen, then answered honestly. He said I'm too basic for the life he wants. Emily apparently helped him realize that. 3 dots appeared, disappeared, reappeared. Oh God, she's back. My fingers went cold. Back how? Emotionally. She never really left. I sat down. Rachel didn't sugarcoat it. She never had. She told me Daniel and Emily never truly cut contact. How Emily would text him, just checking in. how she'd show up at the same industry events by coincidence that stopped feeling coincidental. He always said it was harmless, Rachel wrote, that she was just a part of his past. I already knew how this story went. Did they meet up before this? I asked. I can't prove it, she replied. But yes, I'm almost sure. Then came the part that made everything click into place. Ava. He's been comparing everyone to her for years. Years. Rachel told me about Emily, the real version, not the curated image Daniel carried around like a trophy memory. Emily canceled dates last minute. She forgot Daniel's birthday twice. She cheated on him with a coworker he'd introduced her to. But she wore designer dresses. She knew the right people. She made him feel impressive. Why are you telling me this? I asked. Because you deserve the truth, Rachel said. And because my brother keeps confusing status with substance. I thanked her. We stopped texting after that. I didn't feel better, but I felt clearer. The next morning, I met Marcus Lee for coffee. Marcus ran a consulting firm and had been a casual, professional acquaintance for about a year. Friendly, smart, observant. He knew Daniel socially through finance circles. How's life? He asked, settling into the booth. Recently single, I said. He winced. Ouch, what happened? I gave him the shortened version. Marcus didn't look surprised. Emily Carter? He asked. Yeah, that tracks. My heart skipped. She's currently seeing someone else, he added casually. Pretty publicly. What? He pulled out his phone, scrolled, then slid it across the table. Emily. On a yacht. Wrapped around a man who definitely wasn't Daniel. The caption read, Perfect weekends with perfect company. She does this, Marcus said. Keeps people orbiting. Makes each one feel like the center. An idea settled in my chest. Not revenge. Not anger. Something quieter. If Daniel happened to see me. Moving on, I said slowly. Before Emily shatters whatever illusion he's built. That wouldn't be cruel, right? Marcus smiled faintly. No, he said. That would be educational. And just like that, a plan began to form. Daniel had a routine. I knew this because, for 7 months, I'd quietly folded myself into it. Saturday afternoons, 2 p.m., the Café on Brookline Street, the one with the floor-to-ceiling windows and overpriced oat milk lattes. Emily used to love it. Daniel had taken me there at least a dozen times, always framing it like a test I'd passed just well enough. This place has standards, he once joked. I'm glad you fit in here. I didn't realize then how revealing that sentence was. Marcus and I arrived at 1:45 p.m. Not early enough to look intentional, not late enough to miss him. We ordered drinks, sat by the window, and talked about work, real ideas. No performance, no pretending. Marcus was easy to talk to, confident without trying to impress. He listened when I spoke instead of waiting for his turn. To anyone watching, we probably looked good. At 2:07, Daniel walked in. He was with 2 colleagues, well-dressed, relaxed, unaware. I saw the exact moment he noticed me. His eyes swept the room, landed on me, and stopped. Then he saw Marcus. Saw Marcus lean in to hear me over the noise. Saw me laugh, really laugh, for the first time in weeks. Saw Marcus's hand brush my arm naturally, absent-mindedly. Daniel froze. For a second, his expression fractured. Surprise, confusion, something that looked like panic. Then, composure snapped back into place like a mask. He approached. Ava, he said, hi. Hey, Daniel, I replied easily. His eyes flicked to Marcus. Didn't know you came here. I don't usually, I said. Marcus suggested it. I gestured. Daniel, this is Marcus. Marcus, Daniel. They shook hands. Firm, polite, tense. How long have you two been? Daniel trailed off. Friends for about a year, Marcus said smoothly. We grab coffee pretty regularly. The implication hung heavy. Daniel glanced at me, searching my face. Can I talk to you for a second? He asked quietly. I nodded. Sure. Outside, he crossed his arms. So, you're dating already? I'm having coffee, I said calmly. It didn't look like just coffee. Daniel, I said, meeting his eyes, you broke up with me because I'm too basic for your life. Why does it matter who I drink coffee with? I just didn't expect you to move on so fast. I haven't moved on, I said. I've moved forward. His jaw tightened. Who is he really? Someone who values me without measuring me against his ex. His eyes darkened. This feels cruel. Cruel would be me telling you Emily's currently posting yacht photos with another man, I said evenly. But I won't do that. His face went pale. What? Check her Instagram, I said gently. Or don't. Either way, it's not my problem anymore. I walked back inside. Through the glass, I watched Daniel pull out his phone. Scroll. Freeze. The color drained from his face. His colleagues leaned in. One put a hand on his shoulder. They left without ordering. Marcus looked at me. You okay? I exhaled. Perfectly. Daniel called the next morning. I watched my phone vibrate on the kitchen counter while I made coffee. Slowly, deliberately, like I hadn't memorized the sound of his ringtone over 7 months. I didn't answer. 10 minutes later, a text appeared. Ava, please, we need to talk. I finished my coffee. Then my phone rang again. I answered this time. What do you want to talk about? I asked. There was a pause on the other end, longer than necessary, like he was reorganizing his reality before speaking. I made a mistake, he said. I leaned against the counter, eyes closed. Emily, she wasn't honest with me, he continued. She's been seeing someone else, apparently for a while. I said nothing. She told me it was nothing. Just networking. Just friends, he rushed on. Seeing her post yesterday, I didn't know. I swear I didn't. You didn't know? I repeated calmly. Because you didn't want to know. Silence. I've been thinking a lot, he said. About us. About what I threw away. There is no us, I replied. I know I hurt you, he said quickly. But what we had was real. It mattered. Being with you. It was stable. Safe. Good. There it was. The word he thought was a compliment. Daniel, I said quietly, do you hear yourself? I was confused, he said. Emily was this fantasy I never fully let go of, but you were real. Yes, I agreed. I was real, and you treated me like a placeholder. That's not fair. What's not fair, I said, my voice steady, is telling someone they're too basic while keeping your ex emotionally on standby. What's not fair is letting me believe I was your choice when I was really your backup. He inhaled sharply. I'm sorry, he said. I didn't realize what I had until I saw you yesterday. Seeing you with someone else, it hit me. That's not love, I said. That's ego. He went quiet. Is this about Marcus? He asked. Are you seeing him? This is about me, I replied, finally choosing myself. I respect you, he insisted. No, I said softly. You respect what I provided when nothing better was available. That's not respect. That's convenience. His voice cracked. So that's it? You're just done? I've been done since you told me I wasn't enough, I said. You were done first. I'm just catching up. I didn't mean it, he whispered. Yes, you did, I said. You meant every word. I ended the call. He called back twice. I didn't answer. For the first time since the breakup, I didn't feel angry. I felt finished. 6 weeks passed. Daniel stopped calling after that last conversation. No dramatic goodbye. No final message begging for closure. Just silence. The kind that confirms someone has finally run out of arguments. I heard updates through Rachel, though I never asked for them. Daniel tried to make things work with Emily. Really tried, Rachel said. It lasted 2 weeks. Emily ghosted him for the man on the yacht. The influencer-looking one. Apparently, the fantasy had a better offer. Daniel took it badly. Rachel told me this over coffee one afternoon, shaking her head. He's finally realizing that chasing an image doesn't give you a relationship. It just gives you anxiety. I nodded. I wasn't angry anymore. I wasn't even satisfied. I was indifferent. Marcus and I stayed friends. That cafe afternoon became a shared joke between us. Something mildly petty, undeniably effective. You know, he said once, that wasn't about revenge. No, I agreed. It was about proof. Proof to myself. I started dating again, slowly, selectively. No rushing, no shrinking, no pretending my life was something it wasn't. And here's the thing no one tells you. When you stop auditioning for someone else's standards, you suddenly become very attractive to people who actually see you. 2 weeks ago, I ran into Daniel at a work event. He tried to avoid eye contact. Failed. I waved politely. Didn't approach. Didn't linger. Later, I noticed him watching me. Talking, laughing, existing perfectly fine without him. That was the real ending. Not the breakup, not the cafe, not even his apology. He texted me last night. I really am sorry. I hope you know that. I stared at the message. Then I deleted it. Some apologies arrive too late to matter. Some bridges, once burned, shouldn't be rebuilt. Daniel wanted someone flashy. Someone impressive on paper. Someone who matched the image he thought success required. He got that. And it fell apart exactly the way everyone predicted. As for me, I'm still basic. Still living my regular life. Still drinking coffee in my favorite cafes. Still building things that matter. Still enough. And for the first time in a long time, I don't need anyone else to confirm that.